Prospects for a binding agreement in Copenhagen at the International Climate Summit are being put on ice. But back here in the good old US of A, the EPA has made a determination that has some business leaders a bit hot under the collar. Here to explain is the watchdog on Wall Street, Chris Markowski. Good morning, Chris.
Good morning.
All right, so the EPA Monday said CO2, carbon dioxide, is a pollutant.
Yeah, stop talking.
Oh,
stop. Actually, I was trying to put this to perspective yesterday, and I was trying to think of a comparison where we could try to, put this into perspective in regards to a bad EPA decision. And I don't think since William Peck decided to shut down the laser containment grid at the Ghostbusters headquarters in downtown New York, have I seen anything so ridiculous in my entire life.
Okay, that's definitely, I can see where you're coming from. What effect is this going to have? Because now that they've determined that CO2 is a pollutant, they can now put into place a whole slew of regulation on business in terms of their emissions.
Absolutely, and the government's come out, and the EPA director, Lisa Jackson, she's come out and said, well, this is not going to go ahead and affect small businesses. We're going to do this in a manner where we're going to only go after major corporations and electrical companies, whatever it may be. But when a cost goes up, when you're going to start charging a business, electric company, whatever it may be, a higher price, they're going to pass that on down the line. So that means everybody's electric bills are going to go up, everybody's prices are going to go up across the board, and people are going to lose their jobs. I was reading a story today about the attack just on coal and all the coal miners that are getting laid off in West Virginia. They said some 500 over the past month just because of some of this regulation.
All right, so if you work for a company that's now got to retrofit all their equipment to meet new EPA standards on CO2, what is that going to mean for you?
Well, you're going to have to go ahead and, like I said, it's an embedded cost. You're going to have to go ahead and spend the money to go ahead and do that. But the idea that carbon dioxide, you got to understand that what this Pandora's box that they're opening up, the idea that air is a pollutant. I mean, everybody remembers go back to 6th grade science class, photosynthesis, C6H12O6, present light, chlorophyll. Plants need carbon dioxide to live. We breathe it out. They say, oh, you talk to your plants? Well, why do you talk to your plants? Because they're taking in the carbon dioxide. By labeling it as a pollutant, it's going to open up a realm for lawsuits, whatever it may be.
Okay. Some businesses are saying they'd rather see the overall congressional action on climate legislation versus EPA's determination. Why do you think that is?
Well, I think that you'd rather not have a government agency which is going to change depending on who's in power, start deciding on how things go about being run. I think that, we legislate not from the bench. We don't legislate from even the executive branch. We legislate from Congress, and Congress should make the decision and put this to a vote. That's who we put in office. It's the legislative branch.
A year ago this week that Ponzi schemer Bernie Madoff was outed, and as a result, the relationships between financial advisors and their clients has become less trusting. But for the consumer, that might not be a bad thing because they are more willing to put their financial advisor to the test. So here to help explain what we should be asking is the watchdog on Wall Street, Chris Markowski. Good morning, Chris.
Good morning.
I think it's important to say you got to question everything when you're interviewing a potential financial advisor.
The first thing I understand is the world's second oldest profession are get-rich-quick con artists, okay? They're everywhere, and no matter what type of regulation you utilize, at FINRA, the SEC, they cannot catch everyone, and Bernie Madoff is an example of that.
Okay, let's run down a list of these questions you should be asking a potential financial planner. The first one being, are you a fiduciary? And explain also what a fiduciary is.
Fiduciary is very, very important. It means that they're going to put your interests above their own. Stockbrokers, they, by definition, cannot accept fiduciary responsibility because the firms that they work for are pushing certain products upon you. A financial planner should be independent. They should be bringing what's best for you. Much like a doctor, a relationship you'd have with your doctor. That's a good fiduciary type of an example.
Okay. The next one, who is your target client?
Okay, everybody's different. I have a certified financial planning firm, and we help everybody from all sizes and shapes, but I will not go bailing Paris Hilton out of jail. My target client is not going to be dealing with the super wealthy, and I don't want to be fueling up boats. You want to make sure that somebody is going to cater to your interests.
And when you are talking to a potential financial planner, also get on your employer hat and be interviewing them. Don't do all the talking so they know what to say to get you as a client.
Spot on. One of the first things that I did when I moved down to Florida was basically go around and look for pediatricians for my kids and interviewing various different pediatricians. The same type of thing you should have to do with financial planners because it's that important.
Sure. Okay, the next question, how do you get paid?
Okay, Financial planners get paid in various different ways. It could be commissions, it could be fee-based. You have to ask them, and it has to be laid out in a contract, and they have to specify to you.
Okay, well, we were just talking about Bernie Madoff. The next question, where is your money kept? Where's my money going to be going?
This is another one. Checks and balances are great in any type of relationship. Bernie Madoff also controlled all the money. He had his own little bank clearing agent there. You want your financial planner to utilize an source like Pershing or Bank of New York, something like that that's outside, which is another level of protection.
Okay, and the last question, what conflicts of interest do you have?
Conflicts of interest. Okay, this is a big one. You want to make sure that that your advisor's not getting any money from a certain fund to push it, whatever it may be. If they're a fiduciary, they're not supposed to have that, but if you're working with the brokerage firm, more often than not, they are conflicted.
Okay, seconds left. Is it good to go word of mouth, talk to some of your friends if they've been happy with who they're working with?
It is to a point. Well, a lot of these con artists can get around that. They work their way through Bible study things. Bernie Madoff was an example. Everybody sent, oh, Bernie's a great guy. He's a mensch. Got to go to him. But he wasn't. You have to understand what the results are and what they do, and you got to do your own homework.
Okay, do your homework. Thanks so much, Chris.